I've been stealing from my job for the last 5 long years, and now I'm stuck between two choices that could change my entire life. Do I walk away from everything, or stay and possibly take over the very place I've been stealing from? By the end of this, I want you to tell me what you would do. Because I honestly don't know anymore. I work at an upscale country club, the kind of place where money doesn't really feel real. Members pay tens of thousands a year just to belong. Furniture in the lounge costs more than my car. Food gets ordered and half of it gets thrown out. Contractors get paid like they're doing surgery, not fixing a fence. When I started, I was 21, just a kid who needed a job with decent pay and flexible hours. But pretty quickly, I noticed something. My boss used the company card for things that had nothing to do with the club. Dinners with his wife, things for his house. Nobody ever asked him about it. And there was a woman in accounting, she'd been there almost 20 years, who always smoothed it over. Whatever he did, the numbers always came out clean by the time anyone official looked at them. I didn't say anything. I just watched. I told myself it wasn't my business. I had no idea I'd end up part of it. It started small, and it started with him. One afternoon, he said, almost like it was nothing, "Hey, do you need any of this for your house?" He was pointing at extra inventory. Food, drinks, cleaning supplies that had overstocked. I said yes. Why wouldn't I? He was offering. A few weeks later, it wasn't a question anymore. It was just, take some of this home. So I did. Looking back, I think that's the part that messes with me the most. It never felt like a decision. It felt like something that was already happening, and I just stepped into it. He taught me the language for it too. If something went missing, you didn't say, "I took it." You said it was damaged. You said it got thrown out. You said it expired. There was always a clean explanation ready before anyone even asked the question. And once I learned the language, I belonged. 5 whole years went by faster than I can explain. Somewhere in there, it stopped feeling like a moral question, and it just became Sunday. Every Sunday night, when the club was quiet and the last members had gone home, I'd do my version of closing up, and I'd take what I needed for the week. Groceries, supplies, sometimes bigger things nobody would track. I want to be honest with you. At no point in those 5 years did I wake up and think, I am a thief. That's not how it felt from the inside. It felt like a benefit, an unspoken part of the job, like a tip nobody talks about out loud. Everyone around me seemed to have their own version of it. The chef, the maintenance guy, even people in the office. So I never felt like the villain of the story. I felt like one more person inside a system that had built itself a long time before I got there. But there was always a small voice underneath it. A voice that said, "This isn't actually yours. And one day, somebody's going to ask why." I just got good at not listening to it. Now I'm 26, and lately that voice has gotten louder. Not because anything went wrong, nothing's been discovered, nobody's confronted me, but because I'm not 21 anymore. I think about what I want my life to look like in 10 years, and the guy who takes stuff from the club on Sundays isn't the answer. Then something happened that forced the question. One of our members, a guy who owns a logistics company, genuinely successful, the real deal, pulled me aside after a round of golf. He said he liked how I handled things, how I dealt with people. He offered me a real job, an actual offer. Entry level in his company, but real growth, a real ladder, the kind of thing that could actually turn into a career. No company card to borrow from, no Sunday night system, just a clean start. And I should have said yes immediately, right? But it's not that simple. Because around the same time, my boss, he's 55 now, started talking just casually about slowing down, maybe stepping back in a few years, maybe handing the reins to someone he trusts. And the way he looks at me when he says it, I think he means me. So here's where I'm stuck. Option 1, I take the new job. I leave the club, the system, the 5 years of habits, and I start over somewhere clean. No history, no risk hanging over me. But also, no power, no head start, no relationship I've spent half a decade building. Option 2, I stay. I keep my head down and wait. In a few years, maybe I'm running the place, the guy with the keys, the guy members come to. Real status, real money, real security. But staying means staying inside something I know isn't right. It means betting nothing ever surfaces. It means my future built on something I'd have to keep hiding. Maybe forever. And there's a version where I take over one day and I become him. The guy normalizing it for the next kid who walks through the door. I don't love that version of myself. But I don't trust the clean version either. What if I leave and 5 years from now I'm still entry level, watching this opportunity disappear in the rearview mirror? I keep going back and forth. Some nights I think I've decided, and the next morning I'm not sure again. So I'm asking you, if you were me, would you walk away from 5 years for something clean and uncertain? Or stay and try to end up running the place, even knowing how you got there? Tell me what you'd do. Because right now, I genuinely don't know.